Hi everyone, this is Taffy Hawkins again from YourDaringAdventure.com, and I wanted to talk to you this morning about humility. So, in this modern age that we live in, humility is not really something that's emphasized, but it's a big thing in my life, and I want to tell you why. It's not because I chose to be humble, it's because I was made humble over and over again. And I found if I humble myself, then great things happen in my life. So, little backstory. I went to great college, met some amazing people, and I had obtained 2 degrees there, one of which being a master's degree. So I thought certainly, I would be able to get into any college that I wanted. You know, I was a smart girl, good grades, great resume. You know, why not, right? So, um, I applied to several different schools, and long story short, it didn't all happen for me that way. I did get into a school. It was a great school. Horrible timing for me. As if you watched my previous video, you know that God called me away from that for the time. So that was one thing that really humbled me, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, why could this not happen for me?" And it happens so easily for other people. And I'm a good person, and I'm smart, and I can do this on my own. And that's kind of the way I thought. So I was armed with my handy dandy master's degree and went out looking for jobs because that's what you do. And I'm in a good field, it's the field of exercise science, and I'm in a great field. So I thought, oh, finding a job will be a cinch because, I'm qualified for this or that or whatever, and I could still teach. And I took it upon myself, pay attention to those words, upon myself, not, you know, someone with me working as a team, not relying on God to really show me what was best for me. I decided, okay, well, I'm going to take it upon myself and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get me a job. Well, I put out more than 200 applications, okay? Just well over 200. But, to save face for me, let's call it 200. So, put out all these applications and my resume was good, my cover letter was awesome, and who wouldn't want to work with me, right? Because I'm so great and I'm so smart and I have this, degree that I worked so hard for, and it was nothing but crickets. I did manage to get a phone interview, and it was just for a job that they weren't sure was ever going to go full time, and I needed more than that for my family. So, a little background. I grew up, we didn't have much money. I was the oldest child of a single mom, so we always worked really hard, and we were always a team, and that was kind of relying on myself. Okay, so right now, where you are, and I'm not sure the position that you're in right now, but if you're relying totally on yourself to make it happen, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle. Okay, that's what happened to me. And I want you to kind of learn from my mistakes. Okay, don't do what Taffy did. So, this is one of those things that I had to learn humility. And I can't just rely on myself. And the same thing with my husband. I have a great husband. He's always been a good provider. We work hard and we are a team. But it just never felt right to not be that independent woman. So God has taught me a lot of lessons. And when we, at certain periods throughout our marriage, I haven't worked or I've worked part-time or whatever, and right now I'm building something amazing, something that God has laid on my heart that is really going to impact a lot of people, but it's building, and it takes time, and those things are something that bother me, especially in the age of, we need it now. So it's something that's, really been difficult for me, and I've really struggled with, and maybe you struggle as well. But I've had to be humble and rely on Him and rely on God to take care of our needs, because it's something that me, in all my, human glory or whatever, I wasn't able to do for myself, not at this moment. And if we fast forward just a little bit in our life, I moved out when I was 18 and I was still in high school. So I moved out, and I've always lived on my own. I always had my own apartment, and I self-sufficient woman, right? Because that's the way it's supposed to be, and we're taught we don't have to rely on anybody. Well, when we moved to South Carolina, we put our house on the market and we decided we weren't going to own another piece of property until that house sold. And we still haven't found the perfect buyer that God has for that house, but that's okay. We're not doubting that at all. But my mom moved out here with us, and we've had to live together, you know, to make things happen. And this has humbled me tremendously because I've never, I don't want to feel like the failure that has to live with their parents, you know. But when you're in the process of building something that God has said, Taffy, if you just pour everything into it and you rely on me and you let me do my thing and really show out in your life, then it's going to happen. And it's going to happen in such a big way that you're not going to have to worry about finances. And you're going to be able to take care of your mom because she's always taking care of you and those kind of things, And you're going to be able to buy your husband a Harley because that's what he really wants. So, and those are trivial things, just trivial things. But I've had to humble myself tremendously and say, okay, if this is the season of my life and this is the way that it has to be right now, then that's okay. But it took a lot of steps to get here. So if you find that you're one of those people and you don't want to lean on God and you don't want to ask for help and you don't want to, really put your faith in another person, you're missing a huge part of the ball game, right? So I want to just release this into the world, and maybe I'm speaking to one person, and that's okay. You know who you are, and I'm talking to you. So be humble. Humble yourself before other people. Humble yourself before God and say, absolutely, I can't do it without you. And just let Him really show up and show out in your life, because you would be amazed at the things that can happen when you let go of the reins. So that's all that I have for you today. Our new website is almost finished, so you can find it at yourdaringadventure.com. And also, if you have any questions or concerns, send me a comment down below or reach out to me on Facebook at Abundantly Passionate, or send me an email, yourdaringadventure@yahoo.com, and let's talk about it. Let's see if maybe I can be that person that you lean on. I can help to bridge that gap a little bit with helping you repair your relationship with God. Maybe I can answer some questions for you. I'm not sure exactly why this was laid on my heart, but I needed to be humble and I needed to be authentic for myself and for you. So, until next time, this is Your Daring Adventure. Are you ready?